Hello guys, this is news update number 23 and today's news is a follow-up news of an episode which I've already done. I think on May 26th, episode number 7, when we did the social media ban issue. Okay, because our government had issued new IT rules 2021, and the social media platforms were not complying to it. But slowly, each Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, they started complying, but Twitter did not comply. And so a Twitter war was going on, meaning on Twitter platform itself, Twitter and government is fighting with each other. So that tweets also I'll show you, and we'll see how is the status now. Okay, whether the users will have any issue, whether everyone have complied the issue, and what is the latest update of like today's tweet. Okay, today morning's tweet I'll show you. Okay. So Indian government might be looking to ban Twitter as it has refused to comply with the new social media rules. This means if any objectionable content is found on Twitter, it will be held accountable. So the tweets, if you see, there are numerous queries arising as to whether Twitter is entitled to safe harbor provision. However, the simple fact of the matter is that Twitter has failed to comply with the intermediary guidelines that came into effect from 26th of May. Further, Twitter has been given multiple opportunities to comply with the same. However, it has deliberately chosen the path of non-compliance. This is what today morning 11:30 the IT minister has tweeted. And also many users have started to leave the Twitter, which has led to increase of millions of downloads of other apps like there's meme chat and all. Because if you see, Twitter is not used as a communication tool now. People are making trolls and memes, and fake news is spreading like anything. Okay, more than Facebook and WhatsApp, Twitter is being used as a handle for fake news spreading. Okay, so that is why now latest something happened. A news also happened. That is the reason now this action has been taken. Okay, so the culture of India varies like its large geography. In certain scenarios, with the amplification of social media, even a small spark can cause fire, especially with the menace of fake news. This was one of the objectives of bringing the intermediary guidelines. It is astounding that Twitter, which portrays itself as the flag bearer of free speech, chooses the path of deliberate defiance when it comes to intermediary guidelines. So they're telling, Twitter tells like we are the flag bearer of free speech and all, but you are not following basic guidelines of a country. What happened in UP? Okay, that news I'll tell you in upcoming slides. What happened in UP was illustrative of Twitter's arbitrariness in fighting fake news. While Twitter has been over enthusiastic about this fact-checking mechanism, its failure to act in multiple cases like in UP is perplexing and indicates its inconsistency in fighting misinformation. And he's telling Indian companies, okay, we are like pharma, IT, we have these many companies which go and do business in USA or other foreign countries, okay, voluntarily. But we voluntarily follow the local law. Okay, we will follow the law, we will pay the tax accordingly, we'll follow everything what is there. Then why are platforms like Twitter showing reluctance in following Indian laws? Okay, designed to give voice to the victims of abuse and misuse. This is a very valid question also he's asking, because India, a democracy like this much big population, okay, 130 crore population, like next to China. So if these platforms, like I don't know how they even dare to not follow the law, because when they, like suppose it's banned in India, they are going to lose that much people. Okay, it's not like a small European country or African country where, okay, only this much hundreds or thousands or lakhs people will go away. Here, crores of people are going to go away from the platform if a ban comes. But still, they are not worried. Still, they don't care and they don't follow the Indian laws. Okay, there can be maybe objections like this is not correct. This is like WhatsApp is telling like you are playing with the privacy of people. So you can go to the court and give case and all. But deliberately not listening or not complying or not taking any action, that is where the problem is. Okay, because Indian companies cannot do that when we go to other countries. Okay, so that is a point which the minister is making. So this video which I made, okay, in May 26, episode number 7, if you see here, in that we explained the entire IT rules. So you should go and watch that. Just 2 screenshots I'll show you, because if I tell again 5-10 minutes will go away. So please watch that video. I'll put the link in the description box. So these were the new rules. Okay, voluntary verification should be there. A 24-hour time limit should be there, in which the any flagged content, okay, if it's like fake news or nudity, anything, it should be removed. Okay, and there should be appointment of these officers, appointment of chief compliance officer, nodal contact person, residence grievance officer. And what are these in detail in another slide I explained here. Okay, like what each officer stands for, what is their job, that also is explained here. That's why I'm telling, please watch that video, else this video will be a little bit lengthy, that I don't want to make it. Okay, so please see this video, you will get the details of what it is. But what is intermediary, that I'll explain in this video itself in the next slide. because that is where the position has gone, like Twitter's intermediary status has been gone. That is the news. Okay, so why Twitter lost the legal cover? IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said Twitter has failed to comply with the intermediary guidelines, which are introduced on March 25 and came into effect on May 26. May 26. Twitter was given multiple opportunities, but it deliberately chose not to comply. On India's micro blogging platform, the minister posted his statement and said Twitter chooses to flag content only when it suits. Okay, so Indian app is also there now. The Coup app is there, which also is complied to the all the rules. We are keeping this is the Twitter's response. Okay, we are keeping the MIT, that is Ministry of Electronic and IT, apprised of the progress at every step of the process. An interim chief compliance officer has been retained and details will be shared. Okay, this actually, but since last 1 week they are telling like we will appoint an officer, we will comply, but we need time. Okay, so it's going round and round now. When the ban happened, or not the ban, the intermediate status is gone. That time also they are replying the same. Okay, like we are trying to comply. So Twitter became the first US-based social media platform to lose legal protection in India following a series of events that amplified the disagreement between the government and social media. Twitter, however, continues to maintain its cooperative stance and has said that it is making every effort to comply with the new guideline. Okay, Twitter will now be held responsible for tweets, data hosted by it. It will not be considered as a platform hosting something that somebody has tweeted, but it will be editorially responsible for the post. Okay, meaning till now it had intermediary status. That is, it is just like a middleman. Like somebody can post it, somebody can see it. Okay, so they are not responsible for what is the post, but now they will be editorially responsible. That is what happened when your intermediary status is gone. That again, zooming into the act, I will show you in the next slide. So according to reports, Twitter has been named in an FIR filed by the UP police in connection with an incident in Ghaziabad. So Twitter is not immune to criminal charges for what somebody posts on the platform. Its top executives may now be questioned for any content that the authorities feel unlawful, inflammatory. So this is the latest incident which happened. Okay, yesterday I think it happened that UP police have an FIR is there where Twitter's name is there. So that issue also, if you see, there is this alt news co-founder. Okay, he actually made a small issue into a very big communal issue by posting fake news. Okay, there was a Muslim man who was attacked by someone. So the video has come out and that video has fake audio merged into it, so which is not recorded that time. So what it is told in the video which came out is like some Hindus came and attacked him. He something shaved off his beard and stamped him, beat him, and then made him tell Jai Sri Ram. So like that many things happened. Okay, which usually we hear since many years now. So that kind of thing happened. That is the news came, and like the entire Facebook, social media, entire took it up like, okay, intolerance, this thing. You know what happens, right? So that kind of things were happening. But later UP police investigated and then find out and even questioned him, and he's telling like nothing of that sort was there. It was actually a fight between Muslim people only. Okay, they 3-4 people had been fighting, and that due to some, I think some amulet, he's selling amulets or something, the magical amulet and all which you give. Okay, this tabiz kind of thing. So that something did not work, and because of that fight happened and they were beating him up. But the whole issue, when he went to interview him, he made it up in a different way and was portrayed in a different way. Okay, so the issue is something else, and so UP police have put out lot of notifications. You can see in Facebook also, in Hindi, English, everything it is there. So this kind of some issue happened. So this was spreading through Twitter. So this is one example of a fake news which is spreading. Okay, so that is why the ministers now decided to take away that intermediary. Okay, the time was given and it was ended long back, as I told, May 26th was over. But when this issue now happened, they have decided to actually take off the intermediary status. Okay, so if there is any charge against Twitter, then it will be liable for any punishment under any law, including the Indian Penal Code. If Twitter decides to comply with the IT rules, it may again come under the legal cover. So they have been given a chance, like again, if you are ready to follow the law, you will be allowed to come back. Come back means the legal cover will be there. So what does section 79 of the IT Act say? Okay, this is what the thing I explained in last video also. An intermediary will be exempted from liability for any third-party information, data or communication link made available or hosted by it. So this is what an intermediary's power is. So they are exempted from all these things. It will be exempted if the function of the intermediary is limited to providing access to its communication system over which information made available by third parties is transmitted or temporarily stored or hosted. The exemption is provided if the intermediary does not initiate the transmission, select the receiver of the transmission, and select or modify the information. So this is written in the section 79. Okay, so UPSC students also can study this, because when section 66 of IT Act was removed, UPSC mains question came. Okay, exactly that was asked. Explain the section 66 of IT Act. Okay, so same like that now section 79 is very much in the news. So please study this. Okay. So now Twitter loses that status. It's not an intermediary, but Twitter also has its own support. There are people or groups like Internet Freedom Foundation. Okay, it's an expert of, I think, a digital experts group. Okay, they have come and tweeted, like, this is not one. There are many are there. Okay, many tweets came in support of them. They are telling like, okay, fine, Twitter did not follow it, but it is just a technical qualification which the government has set up. There is no agreement or there is no contract or something which Twitter has broken. Or if something like this is there and doesn't follow, you have to take it to court. You cannot simply tell like, okay, you are no longer intermediary, you cannot do this, you are going to be sued for everything, my name will come in FIR. So that kind of thing should not come. So many people have been doing, and not only in one court, Madras High Court, Delhi, Karnataka, Kerala, everywhere this kind of petition is going. Even WhatsApp has challenged the IT rules in Delhi High Court, telling like it is unconstitutional. All these things in detail I have told in my previous video, so please go and watch that. Okay, so I hope you are understanding the topic. There are fights going on both sides. Now the Twitter users, will you be affected? No, the withdrawal of intermediate status does not mean either of the two. There will be no impact on Twitter users. Okay, so people will continue to post whatever they like, but if it is provoking someone or any violence or fake news something, Twitter people will have to come and reply for that. Okay. And what about other social medias? How are they escaping from this? Because they were complying to it. Okay, by May end or June end itself, June starting itself, they started like WhatsApp named this person as the grievance officer. June 8th, Facebook named someone as the grievance officer. So they all did their part, but Twitter did not do. And now fake news is more and more spreading. So that is why Twitter had to face this. So again, with the tweet, we'll end the video. The rule of the law is the bedrock of Indian society. India's commitment to the constitutional guarantee of freedom of speech was yet again reaffirmed at the G7 summit. Okay, in G7 summit also he told like we guarantee freedom of speech, but it should not cross the limit. Okay, so however, if any foreign entity believes that they can portray itself as the flag bearer of the free speech in India to excuse itself from complying with the law of the land, such attempts are misplaced. Okay, this today 11:30 a.m. the minister has tweeted. So this is the final thing. I hope the issue was clear to you. Please subscribe so that we can keep the free content alive. I'll come up with the next news update tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.